Track 2.13. Unit 9. Lesson 1. Activity 2. Sugar, sugar.
Did you see that documentary about healthy eating last night? It was about how much sugar we eat without knowing. Did you know that there's sugar in bread and soup? Even healthy snacks have much more sugar than we think.
I saw it too. I think the problem is that food producers add sugar to products because we like things that taste sweet. They also add sugar so that food can stay on the supermarket shelves longer without going bad. It's terrible.
I agree. This means we eat much more sugar than we should. You shouldn't have more than 6 teaspoons of sugar a day, but there are 7 teaspoons in just one fizzy drink. And I drink a can of cola every day.
I disagree. The media always try to scare us about food. It's always in the news. First, they told us we were eating too much salt. Then it was too much red meat. This week it's sugar. Next week it'll be milk products. Is everything bad for our health? I think people are clever enough to make their own food choices.
I'm sorry, but I don't agree. I don't think everyone can make the right choices. I blame the advertisers. We see so many pictures of delicious-looking food everywhere, which makes us want to eat more. But a lot of that food is unhealthy. Sugar is really bad for your teeth and for your health.
Hi. Can I just say that there's more to a healthy diet than eating less sugar? It isn't just sugar we need to worry about. A diet of burgers and chips isn't good for us either.
That's true, but that isn't what we're talking about. The point is that we're eating extra sugar because it's difficult to know how much sugar is added to food. There's so much information on every product that it's very hard to understand.
You're so right. A friend told me yesterday that she had an app called Sugar Smart. You use your phone on the barcode of food and drinks, and the app shows you how much sugar is in the product. It's really easy to use.
What a good idea. I'm going to download it right now. I'm going to tell my mum about it too. Yesterday she said that we were eating too much sugar. She's really worried about it.
Yeah, this app sounds great. It can help us make the right choices. We can decide not to buy products that have too much sugar. Maybe then the producers will make food healthier.
Track 2.14. Unit 9. Lesson 4. Activity 1.
Have you started your research for our healthy eating project? Yes, I have, but I've got a problem. What's wrong? I've lost my mum's tablet. I can't find it anywhere. Oh no, it must be somewhere. I've looked all over the school. There's nowhere I haven't checked. Don't worry, someone will find it. Have you told anyone else? No one knows yet. Can I do anything to help? Wait, my phone's ringing. Hello, Tomoko. It's Tomoko. She's found something. It's my tablet. Thanks, Tomoko. That's fantastic.
Track 2.15. Unit 9. Lesson 5. Activities 3 and 4.
Today, pupils will debate the motion, multitasking is the best way to work. Our first speaker is Maya.
I believe that multitasking is the best way to work. I think that we can do our homework and listen to music, surf the net, or use an app at the same time. Firstly, doing one thing at a time takes up too much of our time. It takes us longer to do all the things we need to do. By multitasking, we can make better use of our time and get more done. Secondly, multitasking is a useful skill in the 21st century. At work, people look at a screen, talk on the phone, and type notes at the same time. At school, we listen to the teacher and take notes at the same time. If you can multitask, you will be better at your job. Finally, I think that multitasking is more fun. It might take you longer to finish your homework, but you will enjoy doing it more, which is important. I hope you agree with me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Maya. Our next speaker is James.
Is multitasking the best way to work? I say no. We can use our phones and screens any time we want. But we should turn them off when we're doing our homework, because we need to concentrate. I like getting texts from friends and watching football matches online, but these activities aren't as important as homework. Doing our homework helps us do well in exams, which helps us get good jobs. Maya said that multitasking was more fun. But it's impossible to concentrate on your homework if you do this. Imagine you're doing a difficult maths problem and you get a text. Ping! Suddenly, you stop concentrating. You might make mistakes and it will take you longer to finish your work. I believe it's much better to do your homework first and then do other activities when you've finished. I agree that we need to learn to multitask for our jobs, but learning to concentrate is more important. So, I disagree that multitasking is the best way to work. It isn't. Thank you.
Track 2.16. Reading Time 4. Activity 1. The power of stories. Stories are an important part of every culture. There have always been stories. Even before there were languages, people used pictures, signs, and sounds to tell stories. Stories express our values, experiences, hopes, and dreams, and help us to understand the world around us. Do you remember your favourite stories when you were very young? The ones you always wanted your parents to read to you just one more time? We all need to hear and tell stories. But how did it all begin? The start of storytelling. Thousands of years ago, people used to sit around their fires at night. There were no books or television, so talking was the only entertainment. They asked questions about things they did not understand, such as, where does fire come from? Over time, people developed stories that answered these questions. Before there was writing, it wasn't possible to record stories. People learnt the stories of their culture and told them to their children, who told them to their children. This is called oral storytelling. Without writing, it is how stories are shared over the years and never forgotten. The earliest forms of storytelling included chants, songs, poems, and dance. For example, the Aboriginal people of Australia have shared their stories for thousands of years through very long songs, which also provide a map of the landscape. These are called songlines, and they describe the position of natural features such as rivers, rocks, and trees across the land. This helped people to find their way and travel great distances. The oldest stories. Writing appeared around 5,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, modern Iraq and Syria. The first writing system was called cuneiform. One of the oldest written stories is the Epic of Gilgamesh. An epic is a long poem about an important person or hero. Gilgamesh was a powerful king in the city of Urduk in Mesopotamia. He lived for a very long time and had many great adventures. The stories were originally oral tales, but over 5,000 years ago, people started to collect them and write them on clay tablets in cuneiform. Other stories that began thousands of years ago are still famous all over the world. The Mahabharata is one of the most important epics of India and is described as the longest poem ever written. It's about the adventures of two groups of princes. At the beginning of the story, the author, Vyasa, tells the reader, "If you listen carefully, at the end, you'll be someone else." The 1001 Nights is a collection of stories from the Middle East and South Asia. Scholars started to write down the stories around 1,200 years ago. Many famous and much-loved tales, such as Aladdin, Sinbad, and Ali Baba, are from the 1001 Nights. Storytelling in the 21st century. We see and hear stories every day without knowing it. We all know that stories are found in books and films, but did you know that many adverts tell stories? Companies understand how powerful storytelling is and use it to sell their products. This works for many reasons. Stories create experiences and feelings, and we remember these better than facts. Stories create connections between people, so the connection between us, the customers, and the company is much stronger. People share stories, so we tell all our friends about the fantastic new product we have found out about. Storytelling affects our lives in many different ways, beginning many thousands of years ago and continuing into the 21st century. It is the most important tradition we have.